Taya's my wife and Alicia's my girlfriend.
And vice versa. Alicia's my wife and Taya's my girlfriend.
Polyfamily, the newest car in the train wreck that is TLC, and I know what you're saying. They didn't get tithing to TLC. It was this close, and they're actually probably still going to go in there. A lot of you have been suggesting that we watch this, and this is a closed quad. I'm going to use a lot of air quotes because honestly, I was so excited. I was like, we're going to get people to see polyamory, because what we need to put in the foreground is we talk about polygamy a lot. Polyamory, polygamy, not the same thing. However, what they're doing, I'm really hesitant to put it under that whole umbrella. Let's meet the fam with names and ages. Remember the ages, that's going to be really important here in a second. Now, we've got Taya, who is 28. We've got Alicia, who is 34. We've got Tyler, who's 35. And Sean, who is 46 years old. And Sean is actually married to, the oldest member is married to the youngest member. And they have a steady 18-year age gap. Now, I did a little math, which we'll get to in just a second, and I just have a question. Did you meet her when she was 16 and then married her when she was 17, or had she just turned 18, or was it before that? I mean, the timeline's a little confusing. Sean and Taya attest that they got married 6 years before entering the quad. They entered the quad in 2020, which was 5 years ago. So if you add those two things together, that, by my math, and I'm not a scientist or a Keebler elf, adds up to 11, and 28 minus 11. Sean also has some allegations, but I'm getting ahead of myself just a little bit because, the 35-year-old marrying the 17-year-old, it got me. But let's look at the little bit of the dynamic and everything and how this is not going to end well.
Dude, you don't need to parent me. I don't need that.
Maybe if I was parenting you, that would have happened.
Now, Sean is clearly a lot of it controlling. You can tell that from this, and I know what you're saying. It's just a snapshot of their lives. You don't know these people, blah, blah, blah. At this point in 2025, you know what you hitched your wagon to. You knew what was coming. If you'd done the research, I don't know what to tell you on that one. However, of course you feel a need to parent because you feel above them, because the smallest age gap you've got is 11 years. My suggestion, hang out with people your own age, but that's neither here nor there. But really, it's not that. He just seems kind of controlling, right? But anyway, so they've got 5 kids in between them, right? So 2 that came into the situation with them, and then 3 that they've had since. And they've decided, this is like one of the big things, is not to know who the father is because they don't want to get each other's feelings hurt.
Who's the father?
Me?
Both of us? All right.
Since the guys switch rooms every night, we don't know who the fathers of the younger boys are.
I can assure you it is one of 2 people.
Of course we wonder sometimes, but finding out could cause a lot of hurt.
Well, I guess we know who the dad is.
Right off the bat, if they were mature enough to be in the situation that they're in, that wouldn't really matter. Not to mention, where it matters and where you would get your feelings really hurt is you rush your kid to the hospital, you don't know their blood type, which that's a whole thing. One dad shared the blood type with the other dad, so now they know who the father is, and the other dad got really upset. I thought it didn't matter. Again, I just don't think the level of emotional maturity is here for this. Also, I don't know if everyone's in it for the right reasons. I think they kind of aren't. Alicia even mentions at one point she got into this because it's every guy's fantasy. Babe, it's 2025. What about your fantasies? Not to be a buzzkill, but like a lot of these shows do, is the parents are very selfish and they're only thinking about themselves. It would hurt our feelings. It would cause this. It would cause that. What about like genetic conditions, things that your kids need to know for their medical history as they get older? And they said, well, if the kids want to find out, we'll figure it out. You should just know that because like medically, it's really unsafe not to. Not to mention those kids whose business has been put out on the proverbial front street, including their medical information, will never see any money from this because they are reality show kids, and reality show kids are not covered under laws except in 4 states. Coogan laws are for child actors, however, they don't cover reality and YouTube kids, and even if they were eligible for Coogan, they live in Oregon and they don't have those there. What's that? I think I've seen this one before. And I didn't like the ending. That. The big hubbub about this is the one accidentally sends the other one, the dad's, the blood type information. And my question about that is, why do I know your child's blood type? Why do we know that? We should not know that. No, absolutely not. I know you need the drama for the show, but...
When it comes to Taya and Tyler, it almost looks like they're more in love than him and I. And I can't help but be jealous about that.
She chalks up her jealousy to her insecurity. We've seen this a lot. Maybe this lifestyle's just not for you. And that's okay. All the statements I saw from her on the couple episodes that are out were very male-centered. What about what you want? If this isn't the life for you, that's fine. You don't have to learn to live with it. You can go live a different life. I can see where she's coming from too, because it also does come off to the viewer like that. But I know a ton of very happy polyfamilies. I don't want these people to be the representation for you, but they work really hard and they're all truly that. And I don't know if that's what's happening here.
I have something to share. I feel like I have a connection with someone else.
Let break this down because a lot of people don't understand these dynamics, and I don't blame you. It's not a dynamic everyone's been around. That's cheating. So go home today and tell your husband, wife, they friend, girlfriend, whoever you got going on that I've actually met somebody else and I'd like to explore that connection. So they're automatically going to be like, what the hell? Unless maybe they don't. Maybe they go with this way, whatever. But if you are in a closed situation, you don't get to just go flinging it at everybody or bringing more people in because that only further complicates the dynamic. And if your other partners are not okay with that, yes, you can still cheat in polyamory.
Emotional affairs still count as affairs.
As the show has hit TLC, so have the rumors and allegations about Sean's past. A lot of people are saying that, oh, there's a lot of allegations in Sean's past. Sean has a really problematic past, but nobody's really addressing the allegations.
Let's be clear about the allegations with Sean. I have not been able to find hardcore evidence, so take it with a grain of salt. And if you know where that is, send it to me because I wasn't really able to find anything. However, judging by the age gap and how things worked out, I don't necessarily not believe it. So basically, married with 5 kids, left them when he met the 16, 17, 18-year-old. We're not really sure at work. The lion tattoo covered up their names. No contact anymore. Then he has several allegations of SA. Again, have not seen this from the horse's mouth, so keep that in mind. But harassment, losing jobs, all that stuff. And the way that he's treated them, which we will do recaps through these episodes, I'm not inclined to not believe it. There are also allegations of messaging minors, inappropriate behavior with minors, and considering the age gap and not really knowing what age she was. It's like that Clay Walker song, I think this is the smoke that was above the fire. But again, allegedly. That creator is tagged below and goes a little more into detail about those. And once I get more evidence of those, or if any of you could send me anything, that's great. Then we will go into that a little harder. But we try to be fair. But that was it for this one. I'm probably going to recap the episodes, and I hope you guys have a good day.